Welcome to the Mac and Jack Attack.
And this is Mac.
And this is Jack. And this is the podcast that we make like bi-monthly now. Used to be bi-weekly. But you know, life happens.
I'm crying.
I'm pretty sure our last episode was about us being sad. Go check that out where we're really sad. But this episode, we're not going to be sad. And you know why we're not going to be sad, Mac?
Maybe a little bit, but why?
Because we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 8.
Okay, yeah, just had to be sad about that.
So, it was like 1:30 or like 2 o'clock in the morning. This dude messages me on Discord, and he's like, dude, I finally beat it. I beat Resident Evil 8.
Yes,
and
sir.
I was just like, all right, it's been a minute since we talked. It's time to podcast.
Hell yeah.
And that's what we're here to do today. Mac, what are your opinions on Resident Evil 8 Village?
Oh my god. Well, I like it. It's actually it's really good. It's like honestly a breath of fresh air, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels different. The game feels different. It's not like any other game I played it so far, or at least within this year.
For sure.
Because when did Resident Evil 7 come out? It was like
2017, I think.
17.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Wow. Well, regardless, with this one, it was more. It was a breath of fresh air. I actually really like it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's honestly a perfect game. I'm not being biased or anything, but this exceeded my expectations.
I think I would have to say the same. Like, granted, you just beat it early this morning. So, you know, there's still a lot for you to process, I feel like. For me, I beat it a few weeks ago. I beat it, like, essentially the week or two right after it came out. And leading up to it, I actually played through 7 again, which made this a way better experience, by the way. Not just gameplay-wise, but, you know, we'll get into that, like, probably way later.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me personally, I feel like I kind of rushed through this game because I was playing it with my girlfriend and she's watching me play through it. So then I didn't want to like do a whole lot of like side stuff or a lot of like looking around or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still did. This game is fucking gorgeous and
It is.
there
dude.
is so much to it. Like this game is a really big game, I feel like. But yeah, overall, I would say it is up there as one of my favorite Resident Evil games. One of my favorite, probably my favorite recent Resident Evil game because like, you know, it was like 7 and then 2 remake and then 3 remake the year after. And then now we have 8 the like following year after 3 remake, which I also played those 2 before playing 8 as well. All right, let's talk about the gameplay because the gameplay is like really different from 7. I feel like they're both first person, but this one is a lot more actiony. Do you feel like this game is better because it's more actiony, or is like it doesn't feel as scary because of it?
Well, that's the thing. I I played this on what difficulty? I played this on standard. Is that normal? I know I didn't play it on the easy. I played it on normal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm a mega pussy, so I get scared way too easily. So with this game, I will admit I felt more comfortable the fact that I had a gun.
Yeah.
But regardless, right? It's not one of those things where is it more action? Oh, yes, it is. It is. But it's one of those things where it didn't really ruin the game. Like, because like when you think of that, right? Like think about. Correct me if I'm wrong. Resident Evil 6. Is that the game where it's like full on Michael Bay type shit? Where
Yeah.
That ruined it for me. That's too much action. But this one, it was like in the middle. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't bad either. It was actually perfect. So no, I didn't think it ruined the game at all. I think if anything, it was so cool getting a gun. Like, oh, with games nowadays, you have to. It's like, oh, I got this gun, I got that gun. With this one, every gun felt earned, essentially.
Yeah, you get like two guns right in the beginning.
And you use them. Like you
Yeah,
fucking use them. You have to.
who you use it on? I feel like the enemies in this game are, well, comparing it to seven, I feel like is unfair because that game only has like three enemy types, but there are so many different enemy types in this game. But then, some of them are kind of the samey, like the werewolf guys. I kind of got over them pretty quick,
I'm gonna
but
be honest though, dude. That the lichens, they fucking freak me out. Like
yeah,
they, I'm so glad they used. They this is the enemy I'm fighting though.
I am
Like
too.
they're
These
fucking
guys are.
scary, bro.
I am tired of zombies. I've been tired of zombies for like ever now, but I feel like having lichens instead of like just your basic bitch zombies is just like, yo, this is different. These motherfuckers, they will
they
come at you.
they fucking leap everywhere too. They're like
Yeah,
weremen. Well, yeah, werewolves essentially.
they're like
Uh,
women, yes.
Yep, women. Yes, but like it's one of those things where it's I don't know. I just found them really scary. Like in the beginning of the game, I think I'm talking about the fucking intro, or yeah, the
Yeah.
intro. I died like 5 times. Not because I didn't know what to do. It was more of like I was panicking. Like my
Yeah.
butt was clenching the seat, dude. I was fucking scared.
I honestly prefer this intro to like cuz it's very similar to RE4's intro.
Well, I think that's where they were going for, yeah.
yeah.
Because the whole
I
vibe
prefer
is,
this
yeah.
intro way more.
Oh
Just
yeah.
especially with like the fucking giant dude coming in and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? How am I supposed to deal with this? Like, because okay, both games, it's kind of like on a timer. Essentially, it's just like you have to survive for a certain amount of time before a bell rings, and then everyone leaves.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about this, but then it definitely like okay, well I know exactly what is up with this. It's just because the enemies seem faster. It's just like oh fuck, I don't know what I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. How am I gonna survive this? And my first time playing through that part, I fucking ran out of ammo in like 3 seconds.
Wait, you didn't die?
Oh no, I died like 5 times.
Oh my god, I thought I was the
Yeah.
only one. I
No.
don't know. It's. I like the enemy types in this game, man. They were actually pretty. They were freaky, and they were a threat. To me they were, but
Yeah.
later
Yeah.
on, I think that's where the part where, with terms of the guns, come in. I guess they become too easy.
They do become too easy.
Yeah.
It's really cool that you could shoot like their arrows out of the air and like shoot their weapons out of their hands again.
Oh yeah.
That's like some nice classic over the shoulder Resident Evil shit right there.
Right.
Like uh, me playing RE2 and 3 beforehand, I was like, zombies, they don't have any weapons, so it's just like I just shoot their leg and I run. But then here it's like, oh, I gotta aim for something that's not their knee.
Exactly.
It made it a lot funner. But let's get into the story. I will
Wait.
probably get into spoilers fairly quick.
So
but
we are doing spoilers, right?
it'll be spoilery when it's spoilery.
Okay.
So,
So spoilers for anyone that's watching. So yeah, just you've been warned.
yeah. Okay. So the intro, I already knew it. Like, we kind of know what's up with since we saw the trailers. It's like Ethan's living his good life, and then Chris comes and fucks it up. I
Well,
was not expecting it to be the way it was. I mean, I knew that Chris was pretty much gonna ambush them.
yeah, but like the
but-
trailer made it sound like Chris was the bad guy. Did you get that vibe at all?
Yeah, it definitely did, and it doesn't help with like the cover art being Chris and a fucking wolf.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there's no way they're gonna make Chris the bad guy.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah. So I was just like, yeah, It's probably for a good reason. And Mia was kind of I mean, she wasn't really a shit, but then she was holding on to a fucking bioweapon in Seven in the
Yeah.
form of the kid. So it's like it kind of deserves it. Uh,
I
which,
was
by the way,
actually confused on that part, actually.
yeah. What's up?
Okay, so okay, this is maybe me in terms of the story. So Ethan and Mia, they were working for the bad guys this whole time in the beginning.
I think Ethan is just a random dude who has no significance until what we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm.
But Mia looks like she's working for the bad guys because like e- Evelyn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
taking care of her the whole time.
yeah. She's taking care of Evelyn and basically being her handler and like transporting her to a different place. So
Mm.
she was helping the bad guys. They don't really do a good job at telling the story of like that. I feel like in Seven and kind of in here too, which off topic. But I like Mia's design more in this. Um,
Yeah, she looks. Uh,
Milf.
yes, you said it, not me.
You agreed though, so at least we're on the same page. Because okay, in Seven, she's kind of just like, oh hey, it's a white girl in a tank top and in the swamp.
Yeah.
But in here, it's just like, yo, that's mommy right there. It's like, yo, tank tops are nice, but yo, this sweater, oh,
Yo, straight up, yo, that's mommy right there, bro.
yeah. I'll still go into that fucking sweater any
Alright.
time of the day.
I agree. I feel the same way.
So yeah, anyways, back on topic. So Chris, Ethan living his life, puts his new baby daughter in her crib, comes down, talks to Mia about like they keep on talking about the incident with the bakers from Seven and all that. It's like, no, you shouldn't be talking about that. It's not important. Well, you know what is important? 20 rounds to the body for Mia, apparently.
Yeah, she
And
fucking
then,
got wasted, bro.
yeah,
You know what really confused me? Like, okay, not confused me, but like straight up was like, okay, you know how the she got shot, right?
yeah.
She just looked at like, huh, I got shot. she, like there was no reaction. I was like,
Like,
oh, I mean, she is infected, right?
we'll get to it.
Regardless,
But,
I just thought that was pretty funny.
but yeah, so then Chris just comes in and he's like, yo, Ethan, guess what? We're going to take your baby. We just killed your wife. You have any questions? Yeah, no? Well, fuck you. We're going. And then on their way to wherever the fuck, they get fucking attacked. Ethan comes out of the truck. They're going, like, he's clueless. Doesn't know what to do. He's in the middle of the woods. Moves on
Right.
forward. Sees a little fucking lichen guy just, like, skittling around. He's just like, oh, yeah, crows. They're fucking hung bloody and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where the fuck is my child? As he says 90% of the game. 100% of the game, as a matter of fact.
Basically finding Rose, man.
Yeah. And then we get to the village part. And then you play the fucking village part. And we already talked about it, so I don't really want to get into it more. But then it's like, so good. They introduced like a lot of characters and just kill them off right away, which I was like, oh, I thought we were going to be friends with these people. But no, they don't fucking matter at all.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, oh shit, people, all right, all right. I was actually thinking like maybe since it was called Village, like you get to
Yeah.
gather survivors and just survive essentially, right, while you find your daughter. But nope,
Yeah.
they instantly just killed him. I was like, damn it. I don't know why, but like the girl, right, in that in dude, I don't know why she didn't really talk as much, but I was attached. So when she died,
Dude, I was like, all right, Mia's dead. This is going to be my new bitch.
exactly, right? I mean, I was getting that vibe, but nah, she fucking died.
You're
I
such dudes. Oh
exactly,
my
man.
god.
But
Is
dude,
this
like,
what we? Is this what would happen if our fucking girlfriends died? We just be like, oh hey, here's this random white girl in this village that's getting attacked by werewolves. That's gonna be my new bitch.
I mean, would you deny that?
These seem kind of inbred, bro.
Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. I mean, whichever works, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I felt attached to her when she got in, and there was this line right after you got
Mm.
out. She was just like, "What did he say? Why does this keep happening to me?" And I'm like, "Why does that remind me of Chris, man? Like every time Chris tries to like, I think in almost every game they always die.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in every game with Chris, like someone dies on his team. Yeah, like not anyone playable, of course, but it's just like, hey, it's a squad mate over there. Oh no, he's gone now.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, then we get into the village, and from there, it just I don't know. It just picks up, dude. The pacing of this game within the story is actually, to me personally, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it was really good. I mean, there were some slow bits, I feel like. So yeah, we go to the castle, and then we get ambushed by Heisenberg, and then, dude, once we fucking got captured, I was not expecting to see that many like bosses.
Wait, in the beginning of the game?
Yeah, because I was just like, oh yeah, vampire lady. Oh yeah, that Dante looking motherfucker. That's all I thought this game was going for. Because
Nah,
like
there's
I
a
I
lot more.
didn't really know, like, because after the first trailer I was like, okay, I don't need any more information. I just know that this is Resident Evil, and if I see anything more than what I have seen now, I'm just gonna ruin it for myself essentially.
Yeah.
So I was not expecting to see a puppet doll and a fish guy, and then fucking Mother Miranda too. So I was just like, oh damn, they got a full squad up here.
Did you think that I can't pronounce her name, but the tall lady?
Yeah.
Did you think she was gonna be the main enemy?
I did, and like especially the way that they were showing her off in the trailers.
Right.
So I was just like, oh yeah, she has to be the main bad guy. I don't really get how, but then I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with that because it's different from your typical scientist guy who's evil and does the Matrix, you know.
Kind of
So
funny
I was
you
just
said
like-
that, but yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, you get introduced to the cast of who you're gonna go up against, and we'll just kind of break it down from stage to stage. Essentially, I'm not gonna go through the story like how I did
Yeah.
this intro part, but this intro was so good, I couldn't stop playing until I finally got into the castle and actually started doing shit because I was just like, dude, okay, this is a game that I didn't want to put down at all. Just because of how, like you said, the pacing was so good. So that entire intro sequence was so like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? Oh shit, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And it just kept on ramping up. And I was like, wow. It is a really strong intro. So that's why I kind of just wanted to break it down a little. But what are your opinions on the castle in the beginning? Because yeah.
Again, I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna reiterate this. I'm a makeup pussy. So essentially, whenever knowing, okay, so I have a phobia where I'm like afraid of tall people, or I'm normally large bodies, or something that's not right. So essentially, knowing that tall lady is roaming around the damn castle, you know how, okay, so in the game you can sprint. I
Yes.
never sprinted. I've never sprinted, and I think I don't know why.
You're so ass backwards, bro.
Nah, dude, I've never sprinted. I'm too scared. This is okay. So throughout the whole time, I was crouching and walking at the same time, hoping she doesn't hear me. I don't
That's
know.
what took you so long to beat the game.
Hell yeah, dude, it was scary. Fuck that lady, and it didn't fucking help that there was, I think three.
Yeah, the three daughters.
The three daughters hunting my ass. Not only that, I'm afraid of insects, and I have like high end headphones, right? I'm usually playing these games like at 100%. Fucking every time I hear zzz, I'm fucking like my goosebumps all over the place. So I don't know. It's in my opinion, the castle alone was really fun,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it was like the most how do I say this? It is probably in terms of the scare factor for me personally, it is the second most scariest part of the game.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree with that. Like, I was gonna have a scare rating for each section too, but then you kind of like nailed it already. I would say that it's the second scariest part. Now thinking back, I feel like when I was first playing it, I was like, dude, this castle is so big, but now it's actually kind of small in comparison
Yeah.
to some other things. But I'm like, dude, that castle, it felt so classic Resident Evil,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like you have to solve this puzzle, you have to get like the four masks and whatnot, and it
Was it
just felt
four?
like really nice having that, especially with like the like little underground area where
Oh
there
yeah.
were those like the fucking like when you walk into the flooded room that's like flooded with blood, and then the fucking monsters just come up
Mm-hmm.
from the water or from the blood.
Yeah.
That part was so good, even though, you know, I mean, I don't know how you were, but then, okay, we played this game so completely different because you were like crouch walking through this entire section. I was sprinting through it. I was headshotting everything. Not
Nope.
saying that I'm a good gamer shooting shit,
I
but it's
fucking
just like
juked them all, man.
you can't juke while you're crouching. But yes,
No, like okay, so essentially when that area, right, where all the
mhm.
was it blood? I thought that was wine, but essentially the red the basement level, right, where
Yeah,
all the zombies were coming. Remember, there was like one blocking the way. I would see
yeah,
him, shoot him, run away till one of them goes to the entryway, jukes him, and that's pretty much how I played. Cause like I have that mentality in a Resident Evil game where ammo is very limited.
yeah, yeah,
So I want to save them for the boss. And I for a Resident Evil game, there's always gonna there's always gonna be like a big ass boss. And it feels
hmm,
I don't even think this is spoiler at all. It's very typical. Since there's like it's a Resident Evil game. Every boss has like stages.
yep,
So I'm always saving my bullets for that.
yeah,
These zombies, they're irrelevant. They're not worth my
yeah,
bullets. But yeah. Fucking, I love that part where they come off the ground and shit, or the basement level.
hmm,
Um, that was actually, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna put props on the graphics here because it's a horror game. I mean, at that
hmm.
point, I think graphics are somewhat important. Man, the graphics really nailed it here. That's what made it scary too.
Going back to the daughters real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just moving forward, I guess it's like there's three of them. The way of fighting them was really interesting, but I feel like after the first one, it wasn't really interesting anymore because I was like, oh, I know how to beat this bitch.
Yeah.
But it was still really fun doing it because it's like, where the hell is the window?
In my opinion, it felt like the castle was pretty linear
It
at a
was
point.
very linear. I feel like, yeah.
Like, they're the three sisters, right? They essentially died the same way.
Hmm.
Um, get him in cold air and then shoot the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
That it became repetitive at first, and to be honest, they were such a huge threat at the beginning because, like, at that point, even though I use my guns, right? You know how they appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It just doesn't affect them. Like it just stops them temporarily, and it gives you a time to run. But that's pretty much it. And but you're also wasting bullets. So I'm like, fuck, I can't. I just have to run. And when they catch up to
Hmm.
you, man, they just bite your shit. It's fucking annoying. But
Honestly, I didn't have that many run-ins with them.
oh really?
Like, yeah, while I was running around the castle.
Oh damn.
And most of the times, whenever I did see one of the sisters, it was like near the save room, so I would just run in the save room and then come back out, and she'd be gone.
I did that with the mom or the
Yeah,
milf. I did that with her a lot.
I did that a lot with Lady D, and then I would just like go in, go out, knife her or shoot her a couple times, and then run in, run out. I did that like way too many times, and not as much as like the Fly Swatter mod people, but I did that a good amount. But
Yep. I will admit this though. Like
mhm,
moving on, right? Moving on to
yeah,
to part of the castle. Man, I just have to say this. Why does his hands, bro? Ethan's
Dude.
hands, dude. It fuck like, ow.
Okay. It gets bit in the very beginning. He loses two fingers. I thought that like he was gonna find his fingers from the fucking lichen that bit it off later on or
Right?
something and reattach it. No, they committed to that. But then he gets hung on hooks with his hands, rips his hands out. Poor little first aid on it. He's good. You can still see the cut sometimes, but then it goes
No.
away. He runs away from Lady D, tries to like turn the switch to like open a door, gets his whole ass hand cut off, reattaches it, throws a little first aid on it. It's good. It even sews the jacket back together. You know, that's what first aid kits do. And this man's okay. Like, he's
It's
good.
weird. Like literally, it's so funny too, cause like right after you first meet Lady D, right? She throws you down that cellar, and
Yeah.
then she's like, "I will break you," and you hear her just like, "Yeah, do your worst." Right after he says that, he gets his arm chopped off. I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Really, Ethan? You really have to say that?" Fucking a, like his hands just takes a beating, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made me like go, "Ew." Like it's I think the most brutal was honestly the hanging part.
Yeah, dude. That, oh man, having to like rip his hands off like that. Oof.
Like
Like,
you feel
dude.
that.
Okay, like I love how much damage they did to his hands, but then it does annoy me because it's just like there's no way that someone's hands could go through that much damage.
I know,
It
right?
makes sense. It makes sense because his hands are pretty much the only thing that you get to see the entire game. So it's just like we can relate with that because we're playing this game with our hands. So it's just like it would have been interesting to see his leg get cut off instead of
Right,
his hand, but then it's just like, well, you can't run away from her at that point, so they're
right.
not gonna do that. But it would have been interesting to see something happen with his leg where it gets cut off, and he has to reattach it instead, you know. But did that happen in seven or am I
It did
thinking of-
happen in 7, yes.
Okay, so you know they did that already, so I guess fuck that. But
They really want to show, I guess, the hands. The hands were like straight up, like it's like I'm telling you right now, right, to
yeah,
the viewer, they really fuck up your hands.
I kind of wish that fucking up Ethan's hands happened throughout the game instead of mostly just
beginning, right?
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would have been interesting to see like each boss fucking up his hand in a different way.
Each finger is a level.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You know what would have been really cool? A good side quest to find your hands again, or
That
your
would have been pretty funny.
yeah. I don't know. I just had to mention that because like, ugh, these hands take a big beating in this game. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so far the castle level has been pretty fun. I like the castle, although linear, it still was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's the part that I would want to revisit the most
Right.
out of the game probably.
Hmm.
But to kind of get to the end of the castle, what did you think of the Lady D boss fight?
That was honestly,
Yeah.
it wasn't that hard. Like I was easy. Like it was easily beatable. I thought it would be. It was cinematic, and
It was.
damn, she got ugly real fast. But it's one of those things where I expected a bit more, but it was good enough.
Yeah, I'm honestly really disappointed in it. Just because you have such a good boss design already and just her base design. The fact that she becomes a fucking dragon
Yeah.
right away, I'm kind of just like, do I care about this design? Am I going to remember this design? Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
So it was just kind of like, oh, hey, it's random black goo monster Resident Evil boss number 53 again. So
Right.
I was just like, oh, okay, just shoot a in the mouth when it's flying really far, shoot it in the body and whatnot, and just run around in a circle because that's all you do in that boss fight.
Yeah,
So it's kind of
essentially.
just like, okay, I I would say that this is probably my least favorite boss fight, despite being my favorite like level of the game, I guess.
No, I agree. I mean, to be honest, it's I did expect it more as well,
Hmm.
but again, it was more of like, it's alright. It's good enough for what it is.
Yeah,
It's the second level that
yeah.
mm, I don't know. Is there
So
any?
so let wait. I don't know. Do you have any more things to say about that first level? Because I don't.
That's about it actually.
All right, let's get to the second level then. So, speaking about guns, you don't get one in this one, pretty
No,
much.
this is a full on, straight up. You're vulnerable as fuck.
Because, dude, right when I walked into that house, I was like, no.
Ah, yes, same here,
There
bro.
was there was nothing about the house. There's like no monsters. I knew that there were like no monsters, but I was just like, there's something here, and it's gonna be worse than fucking werewolves.
Like,
And
dude,
because I was
this
just like, dude, I don't want to walk through any of the doors. It's just like a small house.
it was creepy. Like, it was
Yeah,
fucking creepy. The atmosphere in, basically, the vibe entering that house. The vibe that I got was get the fuck out of there.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
this is not a place where you should be right now.
But
And
since you're playing a Resident Evil game,
yeah,
it
fuck
means
off.
you have to explore,
Exactly.
and
Oh man,
and then we explore, and then
dude.
we go to a room that has the doll from the beginning of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just sitting there, which I forgot to mention. But then you grab your baby's head in a jar from Lady D's level,
Oh yeah,
and
that's from the first. Yeah. I
yeah,
forgot to mention that. Yeah, the first
yeah.
one. Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about that little like story point. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's a baby head in a jar.
Yeah.
Typical shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
the doll is holding onto like another body part, and you know that that's the body part because it's in a yellow jar, which I don't know why it looks like it's being pickled, but it is. But um, yeah, you go and pick it up because it's just like it's sitting there, it's not moving. There's nothing else you could do, and then the screen blacks out, no weapons, and there's a creepy ass doll right in front of you, like a mannequin.
Yep.
And oh man, okay, I need your opinions on this level because when I got through this level, I was like, I need everyone's opinion on this level.
I'm gonna be honest. This is by far the best part of the game. I love this part. It was okay. This is the one level that took me the longest because I was again, I'm a mega pussy. So essentially, it's it's one of those like this is the scariest level I've I played so far. Nothing compares it. I know this is ahead of the game, but I'm just gonna say it. This is the scariest one, hands down, in my
I
opinion.
think that this is probably the scariest segment throughout all of Resident Evil games.
Yep. Like again, just like what Jack said, you don't have a gun in this. It gets stripped away from you. You have no guns. You're vulnerable as fuck, and that is when I'm at my most scariest. If I don't have a gun to defend myself, right?
Hmm.
The only thing I could do is run. And I
Yeah,
am not really in control of that because bro, if I was in there in real life, I would be running like there's no tomorrow. But for some
yeah,
reason Ethan, he doesn't run like there's no tomorrow. He just kind of like jogs.
right.
So essentially, it gave me PT vibes.
Absolutely. Like,
Like,
no doubt about it. Everyone, like, okay, because, when Resident Evil 7 came out, people were like, yo, this has got PT vibes. Nah. Capcom was like, let me show you what real PT vibes is. And they fucking delivered.
dude, this is like they did what they did and it was pretty fucking cool. Like, oh, I was sweating, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
'Cause-
fucking
all right.
sweating.
I think that this is probably the shortest part of the game, but it probably took both of us the longest throughout the entire game. Probably. Well, not
Took
the
me
longest
like
because it is pretty short, but
it took me 4 hours.
it took you 4 hours.
I was too scared, bro. Especially that one segment. I, wait. What should we do? Let's go in order of what happened, because like the scariest part happens later on.
Okay, yeah. So you do the autopsy, and then it gives you clues to kind of like figure out how to get out. And like after finding out like one clue or like every clue that you find, there's like some weird radio stuff that kind of like
Reveals a few
goes
things.
yeah, reveals like kind of the relationship between Ethan and Mia and like baby shit.
Yeah.
And like the entire time, because you could basically just go into like you're in the room that you start in, and then you could walk into the room that's like right next to it, and that's pretty much it. And there's this fucking save point, and I'm so glad there's that save point because I saved so many fucking times because fuck fuck that part, dude.
Right.
And okay, like right away, because after examining the mannequin, I go into the other room, and then I open up the closet, and then I walk into the closet. I'm like, oh, I can hide. I know I'm gonna have to hide. What am I hiding from?
Exactly right. Oh my god.
So you go through the puzzle and all that. You finish everything, and then I d-
The light
Oh,
shuts
yeah.
out.
no. You go do the film reel thing. It
Oh,
shows
right.
you a video. It looks like The Ring.
It looks like a snuff film, bro. I don't
Yeah.
know, like it's old school as shit. I don't know if anyone's ever watched a movie called Sinister.
Fuck Sinister, dude. This is The Ring with the little girl that calls out the well. It's that, okay?
Dude, I've like, it's just, it was actually pretty satisfying though. For
Yeah.
one thing led to another. So essentially, yeah, you have to go to that well, essentially.
Yeah, and then like, dude, there was nothing scary about going. Okay, aside from the darkness, it's just like nothing scary really happens during the well part, but it's just the atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want to go down that well. What's down the well? And then you just go down the well, and it's just like, oh, you just pick up this little thing. That's it. And it's like, oh, you go back up. You hear something move, and then you hear like a baby cry,
Yep.
and it's
And it's
there,
like,
there, there's like a crib right next to the well, and it's like tipped over now. And it's like, what the fuck
it's like, damn,
is
all right.
out there?
Why is there a baby crying? What's going on? And then I think this is where I crouched and,
Yeah.
like and walks really slowly. But like, okay, it gets like, this is the part where it gets, besides the atmosphere, this part gets really scary afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you come out of that well room, and then there's like a trail of blood that leads to like the entrance of where you came from. And because video games, what does a trail of blood mean in a video game, Mac?
Bad shit. Or death. Or you
But
about
it
to
also
fight
means
something
we have
more.
to follow that shit, and you do. And then it's this pitch black hall, and
Oof.
explain how you felt when you reached the end of that.
I'm gonna be
hall.
honest, like I straight up was like, I think Julie even heard me. Like I was crouching, and then the baby crying just got louder and louder. I start freaking out, and then I kept going and going, and then I just see this weird fleshy looking thing come out from the darkness, and bro, I fucking panicked. Basically, it looked like a mutated unborn fetus.
It was a giant mutated unborn fetus at that.
And again, you have no guns, you got nothing. You're straight up just like, you gotta run away from this thing. I'm gonna admit I died the first time because like I was crouched and I was panicking and then I was screaming.
And that's why you don't play like a little bitch, man.
Hey man, that's what makes me comfortable. So straight up, fucking, you get basically the death in this game, or at least in this part, you get swallowed whole.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, this is the enemy in this level. Well, the first half at least, or the mid half of it. You have to fight. You're not fighting this thing actually. You don't kill it. You just run away from it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that part.
And you still have to solve like puzzles
You
while
gotta
running
solve
away
puzzles
from
while
it.
you gotta solve. But man, for surprisingly, that motherfucker fast for some reason. I
That
don't.
motherfucker is fast.
I don't understand why. I I don't know what he really looks like fully, but he just yeah. It's I don't know what is he just like some sort of like is a legit baby like a fetus?
Yeah, I think it's just a giant fetus that runs around and chases you.
Damn. Well, regardless, it's scary too, cause like the crying of the baby, right, is
Yeah.
amplified every time he gets near. It just gets amplified even more and more than usual, and it's like not a normal uh baby crying at all. Like I said, this is fucking amplified. So it's just scary. I don't know who knew an unborn fetus would be that scary. With like ugh, I don't know. It gives me like legit goosebumps just thinking about it. But regardless, I'm actually really glad that I didn't put any weapons in this level, cause like
Yeah.
knowing how slow that baby is, I mean I would have just shot it with my shotgun.
Yeah. Same. But dude, they just did an absolutely perfect job at setting up the atmosphere and like that was like true horror, right? If Silent Hill ever comes back, that's what they have to top. They have to make an entire game just like that, I feel like.
Not only
Yeah.
that, the other half of the level is also as good.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it's as good, but it's definitely fun.
It
So
was
yeah,
unique.
anyways.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
very unique.
So the whole time you're running away from this giant fetus baby monster, you're like trying to activate an elevator because there's no such thing as something that just has power in the Resident Evil world.
Yes.
So, when you activate this elevator, you see the fucking giant baby fetus monster come at you and just like cry in your face
Dude.
while like the door closes. Fuck that moment too,
Mhm.
by the way.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. And then, you come back and then you have to fight the doll because this entire level was about the doll, which I completely forgot about because I was busy running away from a fetus monster.
Yep.
So yeah, what were your opinions on this doll fight?
Uh, okay. I will admit it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was very
Mhm.
unique. Cause like okay, so essentially what happens is that you get attacked by these dolls, and I will admit
Yeah.
I saw a movie called Dead Silence. Scared of dolls for sure, but like one of those things where essentially you don't have your guns. You still don't have
Mhm.
your guns. Uh, so essentially you kind of just play hide and seek, and
Yeah, yeah.
I it's kind of weird, but I felt tense knowing I don't know what would happen if you didn't find her, but I knew I was gonna die. But I think this was the only part of the game where I like legit sprinted everywhere.
Yeah, this was like you had to sprint otherwise because I just like looked on YouTube later on to see like what would happen if you don't catch the doll in time. There would just be a bunch of dolls that just spawn and just start shaking, and then you like I think they stab you or something like that. I don't
Oh
remember,
damn.
but yeah, that's essentially what happens if you don't find the doll in time.
I mean, I don't know. To me, it was still pretty unique. Unique.
Yeah,
And not only that, it was also a unique boss.
yeah.
Cause
It's definitely not your typical Resident Evil boss, for one thing.
I mean, the doll was crazy as fuck, but you're mainly fighting that woman. I forgot her name, but she's the one controlling the doll. She doesn't talk that much, which was
Yeah.
weird.
I don't think she talks at all. I just remember hearing the doll.
She did say one thing. She after you stabbed the doll once or twice or something, You
Oh.
see her at her full figure, and she was like, "I can't let you leave," and she said that in the most calmly way compared to the doll. Like it feels like they're two different personalities. Again, I'm not gonna delve too much into the lore because I don't know what's up with that, but I did notice that she feels different compared to other bosses. This was more of a psychological level, and I fucking loved it. That shit was fucking amazing.
Scary factor for this one again. You already said it in the beginning while we were talking about this. Scariest level of the game.
Yep.
Scariest level of Resident Evil. Um, when I think of Resident Evil Village, yeah, there's the castle. I think I did say that the castle is what I think of, but then no, fuck that shit. This is what I truly think about. Is
Hmm.
this section alone? Because it's just like it is so different. It is so not your typical Resident Evil.
Oh no.
Like especially coming from the most Resident Evil chapter of the game with
Hmm.
the castle. It's just like totally different vibes, totally different type of scary. It was just
Like,
perfect.
yeah, it was really good. I fucking love. This is the best part of the game, hands down. I really like that part.
So in between each level, you basically get the chance to go back to the village
Hmm.
and kind of explore and unlock new stuff. I don't remember when this part happens, but did you get to the? I think it's like a safe or something like that, where you have to look out a window to find like the numbers to open the combination.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember it being. I think so. Yeah.
And then you're looking out the window, and as you find the combination or like
And then
the
a
string of
Viking
numbers,
comes out, right?
a fucking lichen comes up. That was the best jump scare of the game.
I was a no. Well, actually, I had the shotgun at that point, so as he popped out, I just shot him in the head.
No, no, like I wasn't like, I didn't get spooked or anything like that. My girlfriend did, but then I was just like, I was really not expecting that. Props to you. Let me kill you.
You deserve death. Let me lay you to rest. I don't know. Like when that happened, I screamed, and then I instinctively just shot him
Yeah,
straight up, just like pops up, just shoots him in the face.
that was probably the most memorable moment, not a part of any of the levels. So I just wanted to give that one a shout out.
No, I get you.
But the next level is the Moreau, the fish
Yeah,
guy.
the fish guy.
Yeah. I don't remember much about this level, but right before you actually get to like the water part, you meet Chris again after like half of the game.
Yeah.
And Chris is like, "No, Ethan, go back home. Even though we were trying to abduct you, you need to stay out of this even though your entire family's life is in danger. You good?"
You're out
And
of your
Ethan's
depth,
just like,
Ethan.
and Ethan's just like, "I need to find my daughter. She needs me." And yeah, I don't remember what really happens. I just know that you have to go to like two windmills, and then you have to do like some cross some water bridges and whatnots to do that, and then the fish monster boss fight. I don't know. Like I granted, it's been a few weeks since I played it. I have a goldfish brain. What are your opinions on this level?
It wasn't bad. I'm sorry, but like, the second level was like my best one. So the fact that they kind of put me in this one, it was still
Yeah.
pretty fun as it is. To be honest, it wasn't
Mhm.
like memorable though, cause I will say, uh, the memorable thing about this one is I guess the boss fight, but even then the boss fight isn't anything to be unique about. It's just one of those things where you fight the boss.
It's probably the most Resident Evil-y boss fight in the game.
Yeah.
Like, if you know what I mean, it's just like wait until the boss does something, wait until you see the glowing orange eyes, go hide under the thing when he does his spitting move, shoot the red barrels.
Yeah. I mean,
Which, like, when I simplify it like that, it sounds like I don't like it. I had a really good time doing this boss fight.
like, don't get us
But,
wrong.
yeah.
It's fun. It was just that, man, they just got us from the second level, which was the best one.
Yeah.
And then with this one, I mean, I guess you could say the memorable parts was when I think this is the middle section of the game or
Hmm.
part of the level where essentially like you have to like turn on these levers and you have to walk across the water. And
Yeah,
if you fucking get in between it, he kills you in one hit because it's a fucking big ass fish. But
yeah, and it's just like he'll be like kind of following you, and you have to track where he's coming from. If you time it wrong, he eats you.
yeah, but that's pretty much it. But again, the level wasn't that bad. It's not
Yeah,
terrible. It was pretty fun.
but it was also the level where I was like, all right, I can just sprint through this.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't scared at this one
I don't know if it was because the brightness, because this is the brightest level as well.
because you're outside half the time.
Yeah, so it's a good level. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite level. It's probably my least favorite, if anything.
Hmm.
But um,
It is what it is.
yeah, I don't know if I have any more opinions to say about this one, to be
Not me
honest.
neither. I mean, it's your typical Resident Evil monster, fucking fish mutated. It reminded me of the Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Heisenberg calls you out, and then you go to his little factory thing, and
In my opinion, this level was the most action packed.
this is the most action packed. But
Yeah.
then, like, okay, before we get into the level itself, the story part is just like, dude, Heisenberg doesn't even want to be there. He's just like, yo, fuck Mother Miranda. Let's team up and let me use your daughter to fight her. And I was just like, if I was Ethan, I would just be like, yeah,
Why not?
we both gained something out of this.
Yeah.
So why don't we just become friends? But no, Ethan's just like, that's my daughter.
She's not a weapon. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
And then Heisenberg was just like, hey, do you hear that thing down there? That's like, sounds like a giant metal fan or something. You're kind of annoying me. Let me just kick you down there and see how long you survive.
I gotta admit, that was a pretty cool sequence.
That was a great
The
sequence.
part
And like,
where he's like, last chance. Like, he kicks the chair, right? And
mhm.
Ethan grabs a hold of Heisenberg's hand. Heisenberg looks at Ethan as like, last chance. And he's like, are you sure you want to do this? Looks at Heisenberg with commitment. I'll take my chances. And then just lets go of Heisenberg's hand. And Heisenberg's like, your funeral. Then lets him go. And I'm like, damn, Ethan, I.
That was a pretty good. Yeah, that was a pretty good part. Like, I wish they interacted more because I really like Heisenberg as a character.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Like,
Why did he
he's
sound
really
like
fun.
Elvis, though? I don't know. His voice acting was interesting.
I couldn't stop thinking of Dante from Devil May Cry.
Really? I don't know. He
It's a white guy in a long coat with long whitish hair. That's the only reason. And there have been people that modded Dante into that part. So,
To me, it's
or
more of what's that called? He reminded me of Elvis. His voice is Elvis. He had like one of those, remember what he was making? He basically roasted
yeah,
the whole family.
yeah, yeah,
The tall
yeah,
bitch and the pompous, I don't know, something like that.
yeah.
But
He was a great character. But
he
yeah,
was, he was. He was honestly the one that scared me the most, though. Or not like scared me, but like the one that I saw that was more of a threat than most
yeah,
of them because
yeah.
this dude was fucking. Who's that
He's
X-Men
Magneto.
guy? Yeah, he's fucking
Magneto.
Magneto. He could fucking control metal and shit in midair. Like, this guy is straight up a threat. I don't even know how I'm gonna. I didn't know how the boss fight was going to be. But, like, again, regardless, we're skipping ahead too much. But, like, the level itself, it took place in a factory, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then you go into like different levels of the factory, and then like progressively you see how he experiments on the fucking creatures. So at first you just get like, oh, it's just a dude robot guy, and then it's a robot guy with a drill or like a heart thing that you shoot, and then
Exactly.
it's like, was it a robot guy with two drills or? I don't
They were
remember.
essentially all the same, right?
Yeah, but then they just keep on getting more and more added to them, and it's just like, dude, that's pretty dope. Like, it's not necessarily scary. It's the most claustrophobic level of the game.
It is.
too.
Like, low
Yeah,
key, it wasn't scary, but it was like. It would be like up there, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the third scariest in a sense because
yeah,
it was yeah, it's very claustrophobic. It was very rustic, dark.
yeah.
It's I don't know why, but when I saw the robots, it just reminded me of Invincible.
Dude, legit. Okay, because what amazing timing for both things to be coming out at the same time. Invincible with like the robot zombie guys, and
Mm-hmm.
then this with the robot zombie guys. Very similar vibes,
I mean,
definitely.
that's how I saw it.
Yeah,
So, but I don't know. I thought this was, in my opinion, this was a pretty cool level. I actually fuck with this.
yeah. This is a really good level. Like if I want to go in for just action, this is the level that I would go into.
Oh yeah, straight up, you're just
Yeah,
shooting things at this point.
yeah.
No, yeah,
And like ammo doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like you're gonna be losing much ammo anyways. You get a lot of metal from it
oh
because
yeah,
you're in a metal factory. It's a really fun level just to play. Like I don't remember all of it, but I just remember really enjoying myself.
yeah. That's pretty much it in terms of like
Yeah.
level. The boss fight. Oh well, you do meet Chris
You do
again.
meet Chris, and Chris like fucking disarms you and like breaks down the gun in a second. He's just like, "What are you doing here?"
I thought that was funny. Like
Yeah,
he just grabs the guy. Give me that. This is not
because
the
it's just like, dude, the entire game you feel like a badass because you actually get like so many different guns, and then Chris just shows up and he's like, "Nah, I'm the badass. Remember that."
He technically is, bro.
Yeah,
Like every time like Ethan gets in front of like he gets an exchange with Chris, he's always on the
hmm
floor.
yeah, yeah. He is in this game. Every time you see Chris, you're on the floor. I
It's
didn't
like
even
the game
realize that.
Capcom's like, man, you better know your place, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, you're a badass, but Chris is like an OG.
Yeah, you don't fuck with the Chris, but yeah. So Chris tells you that Mother Miranda has been the one behind the scenes that all this time, and not only that, that wasn't Mia in the beginning. That was Mother Miranda pretending to be Mia.
See, that's the part that confuses me. Like, in what part did Mia go missing again?
I don't think they showed it. Is what happened.
But they did mention it though, right? Like, oh, at
Yeah,
one point Miranda replaces Mia.
yeah.
That I don't know. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but
No, I don't think they showed it in the game. I think they just implied that like that entire beginning part, it was Mother Miranda, because
yeah.
I don't necessarily know if Mia would be reading that book to the baby. I
Hmm.
feel like that's something that Mother Miranda would do to kind of be like, "Hey, you're my daughter. I'm gonna read you this book that I used to read to my daughters." So I was
Right.
just like, okay, that kind of makes sense to me. So throughout the entire game, that wasn't Mia. That was Mother Miranda.
Yep.
So that's why when Mia was getting shot up in the beginning, she wasn't like dying. She was still kind of moving
Yeah.
after like 20 rounds went in her. So there's that. And then Chris is like, yeah. So since you're here already, look at this machine that I like put together. It doesn't have any metal that Heisenberg can bend. I'm gonna go do something else. You go fight with him, even though I was just asking you why you were here. But since you're here, you can go do my job for me real quick. All right,
Yep.
cool.
Do your
So
thing, Ethan.
you get to hop on this fucking tank, and it's just not your regular. It's not a regular tank. It's got a
Mm-mm.
chainsaw.
Hell yeah, dude. Like straight
So
up. I honestly thought I know it's an action, but I thought that was a pretty cool sequence.
I really enjoyed this boss fight,
Yep.
and like I really want to play some like mech game
Mech games,
right
right?
now. Yeah. So
Like, I'm gonna be
uh,
honest. This was my favorite. I have to say, this is one of my favorite boss fights I've ever played so far. Like,
did I say
compare.
that there? No. Yeah, yeah, because this is my favorite boss fight too. I was trying to think if I said that like the other boss fights were better. No, none of them are as good as this one.
Yeah.
This is my favorite boss fight by far.
Yeah. Fucking go out with guns and blazing, man. Fucking. Now this one felt like a Michael Bay film.
And I ain't even mad about it.
Yeah, I'm
Like
not
that's
mad
the
about
best
it.
part.
Like, it was the best part. Like, out of the whole time where it's mostly horror, I wouldn't say it's slow paced, but it was good pace. But knowing that this just happened,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, okay, why not? It wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I
And
liked it.
during the fight, Heisenberg was like that boulder punching whatever the fuck about
Mhm.
Chris when Chris blows up the factory. Like you played RE5, right?
Yeah, I did.
And Chris punching that boulder, that was such a good callback. Even
It was
though I don't know why Heisenberg would say that. He has no reason to say that. But
right.
it was just a good line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to complain. It put a smile to my face as I was playing that. So,
Don't blame me, man. Same here.
yeah. But a really fun fight. Every now and then you just like fucking charge up your cannon and just shoot them. And after a while, your machine gets taken away from you. So you have to like run on the ground and just shoot at it with your regular ass gun, and it doesn't feel the same,
Yep.
but it definitely makes you feel vulnerable. So I was just like, all right, this is cool.
I will admit
And
though,
then
like
hmm?
straight up, what's that called? Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something about the boss. Like, I forgot what I
It's
was gonna
okay to
say.
be stupid.
Oh shit, what was I gonna say? I honestly thought like there were a few like what the fuck moments that I
Hmm.
didn't understand in a sense.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, there you go. I'm sorry, I was actually just stalling. I now know what I was gonna say.
Okay.
The damn tank, bro.
Yeah.
All right, remember when you get in and they were like, "Oh, you could shoot rockets." I tried shooting a rocket. It flies you all the way back.
Yeah. The kick to it, it's just like, no, you're in the middle of the like fighting ring. No, you're at the edge now.
Exactly.
Like it
Like,
pushes you back so far.
I don't understand. I was when that happened, I was like, "Whoa." No one wants to fuck with me now. I even had
That
so much
is like
confidence, dude.
that is the best feeling of like an impact for a fucking rocket launcher that I've ever felt in a game. It's just like, boom, you're all the way back. Like if there wasn't a wall there, you'd probably still be going flying.
Exactly. I don't know. I thought that had to be shared. I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
But yeah, so to end the fight, it's just like Heisenberg does his tornado-y move or whatever the fuck. Somehow get back on your tank thing, and you get to do one final shot, and it felt pretty badass, even though you knew it was coming.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh,
But
that
yeah.
was the what the fuck moment where
Oh, okay.
basically you were just flying throughout the air and then you just happened to just get on your tank again. And
Yep.
then, yeah. But it was still a cool sequence.
It was. And
Mhm.
then Ethan lands, doesn't really get too hurt by it. Sees Mia walking towards him. Turns out to be Mother Miranda, but he knew that already.
Mhm.
And then, dude, this part was so well, like, animated. Where Mother Miranda, like, she would just walk behind the fucking giant black tentacle tree thingies
Yeah.
and just turns into a different character. And then my mind was so blown when she turned into the old lady. I was
Oh
like,
my god,
whoa.
right. Yup.
I was just like, I completely forgot about her. I forgot she was in this game.
I don't
But then
think we
she
ever
turned into
mentioned
that
it either.
bitch. What was that?
I don't think we mentioned it, did we? That there was
No,
an
we
old
didn't.
lady that we meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we meet
She's
this
in the
old
trailers. Yeah.
lady in the beginning of the game.
But yeah, she just like transforms into everyone. I was just like, bro,
Whoa.
what the hell? And then like while they're talking, she just like comes up from underneath Ethan and just rips his heart out, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
casually, just like, oh hey, here's her heart. I'm just gonna spray the blood all over me, cause fuck you. Your daughter's my daughter now.
Dude, like, at that point, I'm like, okay, Ethan better be dead. Not that I want him dead, but with everything he's been through, he should already been dead already.
Right, right. And I was
But
just like, okay, Ethan has no heart. He's lying there bleeding out. He's dead.
he died, and he's been claimed dead too.
Yes. And then the cutscene. There's a cutscene that just starts, and you see Chris just smoking a cigar, or like cigarette or something. And then like Chris is just talking, doing his military bullshit, you know. Gets out of the car, walks forward a little bit, and then I'm just like, oh fuck. If Ethan's fucking bleeding out, dead over there, am I gonna play as Chris?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. And you get like the most broken weapon set in the world. Like a lichen, you just like shoot twice in the head and it explodes.
Like straight up,
And
this
yeah,
one was the most action packed. Like this is tops every action packed so far.
yeah. And dude, it it felt so nice just running around and gunning like enemies down. Like there would be a mob of like 20 lichens and it's just like, no, I'll just shoot headshot all of you. I could shoot a grenade at you. And there was always ammo wherever you ran pretty much. So then it's
Like
just
it's
like,
impossible to like not have any ammo.
yeah. And like I don't know if you checked it, but then like your healing item, it's
Hmm.
infinite too. So
Yeah.
you have no chance of dying whatsoever. No reason to die.
You even
And
have like fucking air support.
yeah, you have air support to like fucking shoot at the castle and everything too. And then like after you do that castle sequence where you like remove all the trees, you have to go fight the giant guy with a hammer.
Yep.
And to kill him, you have to do air support on him a few times. That part was so fucking dope. You know, you keep on going, see the giant fetus tree monster. That's the one M word that I don't know how to pronounce.
Veranda.
No, no, not Miranda. It's like the mycete.
Oh, my
or
CT,
whatever.
the thing that started
Yeah,
it all. Got
yeah.
it.
So you know, you just see that fetus tree monster there, and Chris, being the cool guy he is, fucking throws a
He throws a bomb knife.
yeah, throws a bomb on it first try, just casually walks away for I don't know why. But then he walks into this room, and in that room has a lot of plot information.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes into like each of the four bosses and kind of being like, oh yeah, they're failures. The letter that intrigued me the most was from Spencer. I don't know if you know any.
Yes. Yep.
Dude, I was just okay. At first, I was just reading the first two pages. I was like, okay, yeah, this seems pretty cool. And then,
Spencer.
like, yeah, I turned to the last page. I didn't even read it yet. I just looked at the bottom. I'm like, oh fuck, it's fucking Spencer. This is why all of this started. And then my girlfriend, she doesn't know anything about Resident Evil lore, but then she was the one that was like reading everything out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And she read like, I'm gonna go create Umbrella, and she was like, oh my god. I love that Resident Evil, everyone, like if you know a little bit about Resident Evil, it's that Umbrella is evil. So my
Yeah.
girlfriend was able to catch on to that, and she was just like, oh my god, that is so like that's so mind-blowing. That this recontextualizes, or it doesn't really recontextualize anything, but it's just like it sets another origin point to how far back bioweapons are in the Resident Evil universe. It's
Yeah.
not really just about Spencer creating the zombie virus or anything like that, but it's just like the molded is something that is new to us as an audience, but is actually
It's been there a while.
it's been there before the
Mm-hmm.
virus. So it's just like that was so good.
Yep.
Absolutely love that room. I'm glad that they just put everything in that room and just be like, hey, here's all the plot that you need.
I
Like
know, right?
here's all the lore. Like we don't really. I mean, they of course throughout the game there will be books explaining the lives of like some people that lived in like the castle or whatnot, but this is what I really came for, and they really
They nailed it on the point.
they did such a good job. And then Chris goes and opens the cell, and it's fucking Mia, and Mia's alive, and they're about to leave, but Mia's like, "Where's my husband?" and all that. And then Chris is just like, "Yeah, he's dead. I'm sorry. I told you I'd protect you and your family, but Ethan's dead over there. Your daughter's gonna become a giant monster thing, but you're alive, so there's that." And then Mia's just like, "No, Ethan's more special than you think he is."
You know what? This is the part that blew my mind. I'm gonna be honest.
This part recontextualizes Resident Evil 7.
Like it makes so much sense now.
It
Like
makes Resident Evil 7 a better game, I feel like.
okay, so okay, can I explain this? Because like there's essentially this
Yes.
one right here. Okay, so after this happens, right? There's a Ethan. You go back to Ethan, right? Oh, he's not
Mhm.
really dead. He wakes up in like in a dream state. All his fingers are back. It's pretty evident that he's like in a dream state.
Yep.
And then, he's walking around in this dream state, and then he sees like this little girl. Oh shit, it's Eve. And then she pretty much explains that you're not even supposed to be alive. And Ethan's like, what? Yeah.
You're not
you-
even the real you.
Exactly. Like, you died in Louisiana. Like, the first time in the intro of Resident Evil 7 where you technically kill Mia. And then what's his name? The
Jack Baker?
Jack
I think
Baker.
it's Jack. Yeah.
The dad, essentially. Dad Baker comes in and stomps on your head. He's the one that killed you. And
Because, like, fucking, of course, if you're just a normal person, you get, like, stomped on the head like that by a superhuman person, you're not gonna fucking survive.
yeah, you're fuck. He died, right? But here's the thing that makes okay. He's basically mold. He is mold himself. It's still Ethan. It's just that he's infected with the mold. From my understanding, at least, he is mold. He's made out of the mold.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right? When that was said, I was like, "Holy shit! This makes a lot of sense now." No wonder he could take the punishment that most humans can't.
No wonder he could reattach both of his arms and his leg.
Exactly.
And all
Like,
that.
Because, like, okay, so when I first played Resident Evil 7, you'd seen what happened. He got his legs cut off. He gets his arm actually chopped off. Someone's just, yeah.
At the
But
very beginning, yeah.
he just puts water and it reattaches itself. And it's funny because I'm like, don't you ever question that at all? But it's the Resident Evil series, so it's like, okay, it makes sense. I guess. I mean, in Resident Evil 4 or any other Resident Evil game, if I get hurt, I just spray myself. So I
Yeah.
guess it's part of the universe. But now that they explain it, oh my god, it makes so much sense. He's not even human. So here's the part that I don't understand, right? Well,
Yeah.
maybe I do. I know he's made out of the mold, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even
But
though
is
I say
this
that this
still
makes-
Ethan? Like, is he infected, Ethan? Is that what they're saying? Or is this like legit a double of Ethan where it's a different type of
pretty
Ethan
sure
and he's like straight up,
it's-
you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ethan's
mold
body still.
You know what I mean?
Like, and his mind is still Ethan, of course. All right, so technical issues right now,
Yes.
but we are back. Anyways, what I was going on about before my fucking internet cut out on me is I did say that this recontextualizes Resident Evil 7 in a good way and all that, but I also don't necessarily know if that's true because, like, in RE7, the way that the mold infects you, it's just like you either look like the mold monsters you're fighting or you look like the Baker family. Ethan doesn't look like either of those, so they didn't really do a good job of explaining that. I mean, I guess you could say that Ethan killed Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, maybe he wasn't under her control, but then that's still kind of weird. But I would say that Ethan is still, for the most part, like, himself. It's just that he was revived by the mold and he is still infected with the mold, I think. But then,
That's how I saw it, at least. Because, like,
Yeah.
Ethan retains all his memories. Like, he's Mia, the daughter, all that other jazz, right?
yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to still be Ethan. There's no way the mold gain a consciousness. The only way I can see this is Eve is like, damn, Ethan look good. I'm gonna make an exact replica of mold, but in his facial features. And then boom, makes him.
The reason why I say that that still has to be Ethan is because his arm was still chopped off.
Yeah.
Right after he died, you know?
So I don't know. It's pretty interesting because, like, so at least I could say, I mean, again, anyone in the comments, correct us if we're wrong. The way I see it, it's the same Ethan. He just has to been, the mold revived him essentially.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I see it too.
Right.
I don't know. That's probably the weirdest thing. Like the thing that my one flaw, I guess.
The plot
with
twist.
the story. Yeah.
It's like, what? He's been in this mode this
Yeah.
whole time. I will admit it blew me away. The reason being is because for such a long time in Resident Evil 7, the amount of, again, he should be dead.
Yeah. Like it was such a meme about him, like just like, oh hey, my limb, whatever.
I'll just reattach this. I just need that special water. I just
Yeah.
gotta do that. I should be fine. Fucking just puts it back like it's fine afterwards. But then
Yeah.
now that it's explained, it's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Like, okay, that Ethan is not normal. There's no way he's human. There's no way. But I thought that was the best part of the game, to be honest, knowing that.
Yeah.
But that's because I've been wanting to know. There's no fucking way this is normal.
I was always just like, there has to be something more to Ethan's character.
Yeah.
Than just like, yeah, he's so like plain that they had to do something significant with his character, and I feel like that was good enough for me to be satisfied with him.
Oh yeah,
To make him important, basically, you know. But yeah, so after that dream sequence with Evelyn, he wakes up. He's in the Duke's little trailer, which we didn't mention the Duke at all, but he's the shop owner. I love this. Ethan is just like, who the hell are you? Or who or what the hell are you?
He's like,
And-
I don't even know.
yeah, I don't even know. I was like, I respect that. I respect that.
I mean, he's a cool
Yeah.
guy. He helps out.
He's significant for the player, but really insignificant for the game in its entirety, I feel like. Or not entirety, but
Well, I mean, they done that in Resident Evil 4.
yeah. It's interesting because even though he knows so much about what's going on, unlike in Resident Evil 4, that guy just shows up randomly. This guy, the Duke, he does know what's going on, and then he takes you to the place where you need to go at the end. And then when Ethan asks him that, he replies with, he doesn't even know.
Okay.
All right. I don't have any questions. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't know if you're okay with that.
I'm
But
okay
I was just
with
like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, this is dope.
Man, you being a bro. I don't know you well
Yeah.
enough, but the fact that you're going this far to help me out, you're a bro.
And then you go and fight Mother Miranda. It's a fight.
To me, it's your typical Resident Evil fight, to be honest.
From the hype of what Heisenberg was immediately to this, it's what I expected for a final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good enough for what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And essentially, it was 3 stages, right?
I don't even know how many stages it was. I just know that I just had to keep on shooting into her.
Exactly. Just keep shooting and hopefully she goes down. But essentially, after fighting this boss, you know what really boggles my mind though?
So
In the beginning, when you first meet Miranda, right? Straight up, Ethan's like, "Give back my daughter now," and then
Yeah.
she's going crazy, fucking talking to this mumbo jumbo. Chris shoots her in the head, and I'm over here
Yeah.
just like, "Chris, where you at, man?"
it's like, you could do this fight, Chris.
I know. I mean, wait. So I never really understand because like, yeah, where the fuck he at? He could fucking be helping me, man. I actually died multiple times. That's because I was going a bit crazy with Heisenberg with my bullets.
Oh,
So
yeah.
essentially, in this one, I had to use my knife, and I'm over here just like, "Yo, Chris, where you at, man? I'm fighting for my fucking life. Help me out."
I mean, I know that like ammo does drop.
It does drop, but it's
occasionally.
mostly handguns, and
Yeah.
I wanted like a shotgun ammo, or
I mean, you could have crafted your own ammo too.
see, I wasn't thinking at that moment.
That's on you then, bro.
It was. But even then, I managed. I kicked her ass. But oh man, I'm not gonna lie. This ending actually brought a tear a little bit in my eye, cause it feels like they're trying really hard with the story. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I will admit the story is actually pretty good. I like it for what it is. There's a lot of loopholes that I don't understand.
There is a lot of loopholes.
It's like, wait,
yeah.
what? But initially, I think the moral of the story is, yeah, Ethan. I know. I think it's a meme now. I think, where Miranda, she's my daughter. Ethan, no, he's my daughter. And then there's just Chris in the background. And but in the like the moral of the story is like, how far will you go? It's just a
Right.
dad trying to find his daughter. Just he's just doing his best, and it shows that in the ending. It's funny because the way I interpret the ending, right, is essentially that like you never get to see Ethan's face,
Yeah.
but that's usually when games do that. That usually you are the character, you are that person, right? And
I'm white.
obviously, you're yes. But essentially, in nearing the ending of the game, you kill off Miranda, she dies, yada yada, and then this
Mm.
weird flower-looking baby thing comes out. I know that's the my seat thing. I think.
Yeah, meta my seat. I think is I don't know.
So you and Chris get out of there, but at this point, Ethan's body is deteriorating. Uh, 'cause-
Yeah, like his right hand crumbles right after the fight.
yeah, like he's
Yeah,
mold. So I don't know why he dies at that point though. I'm gonna be honest.
I would say it's just because he got his heart ripped out,
Yeah, but he was
and he
able to
was.
keep going. Is it at this point? Is it just a will?
I think so.
See that? See that's a loophole. I don't I don't know how that's explained, but maybe there's other. I mean, hopefully someone would say something
It's
about
the
it.
power of love
It's the power of love,
and
man.
fatherhood. Shit, you know.
But like essentially, what I thought was pretty cool was like obviously Chris or not Chris, Ethan was like, okay, I'm gonna just take care of Rosemary, show her the teacher to be
Mm.
strong, and then says her that final the voice acting was pretty good. Granted, I know he's bland, but that nearing ending, I could feel like his sadness. He's saying
That
goodbye
was
to
the
his
best
daughter.
voice acting out of all of the Ethan parts.
Yes.
Which it should be because
Yeah.
it's the most emotional part for his character arc. But yeah,
And then, he's walking up. I thought this was really badass. He's walking up, looks up in the sky because he got the detonator from Chris. And
Mhm.
then, did you notice that everything got blurred?
yeah, yeah,
That's pretty cool. He was fucking
yeah.
scared. Like, he was scared. He's human. He's fucking scared. And then, yeah, he technically died.
At first, I didn't really understand why he had to stay behind to kill the thing. I guess it kind of makes sense because he is also mold. So it's kind of like he's trying to prevent it from,
Spreading, I guess? I'm not entirely
or
sure either. Maybe
like
because he was
the
too
way
weak.
the way that I'm justifying it. Well, there is the part where he's too weak, but then it's just like even if he dies, they could still use his remains, possibly to recreate the mold. I don't know.
Possibly. But the way I
I don't. I
interpret
don't
it,
fully understand it. I think they were just trying to make it dramatic and all, but I was just like, okay, let's try to
possibly.
make it logical, and that's how I'm trying to tell myself with it.
Well, the way I saw it, actually. Granted, I get your point, actually, because, like, yeah, he
Mm.
could have left, but I don't know. It felt like they were leaving in such a. There was a time frame, right? They were rushing. And I think
Yeah,
Ethan knew that he was slowing them down. And then at one
yeah,
point, he was like, okay, if I continue to go with them, we might not make it. So he decided to stay back. That's what I think, at least. But then again, yeah, he could have still survived. At
yeah.
least
'Cause I don't think they said anything about the detonator having a range on it or whatnot. I don't
they only
remember hearing
said
anything like
that.
that.
What did he say? He said that it was just gonna blow the whole village sky high, something like that.
Yeah,
But regardless, yeah, illogical, yes. But I will say it did hit, cause like, yeah, it's just a dad doing his best to save his daughter, and damn, he fucking went all out. He lost three fucking. he died. Like shit. Man, like fucking. Matter of fact, that does more damage to the child. She's gonna grow up and she's gonna be like, damn, she died for me. But like, I don't know. The ending actually, not the ending, but after Chris gets in the helicopter, tells Mia like, oh, Chris is not coming. She cries, knowing that like her husband's dead. It's the
and Chris is
reveal.
like, "Oh, are you single though?"
That would have been really funny. A good Easter egg, to be honest.
That'd
But
be fucked up.
it would be fucked up. What about you, man? Nah, I don't think they're together. But regardless, the reveal actually was pretty shocking to me. I
What reveal?
the BSAA.
Oh yeah, that it was such like it was just a few lines,
That's
but
it.
Chris was like the leader of the BSAA pretty much.
Yeah, but like you gotta remember,
Yeah.
in Resident Evil 7, he's not in the BSAA anymore. He's in the Neo Umbrella. Isn't that what it's called now?
But then this still means that the BSAA is like the bad
They're
guys,
the
even though
bad
they were
guys
the
now.
good
Yeah.
guys. What is going on now, man?
And then boom,
What is
end
up with these
credits.
organizations? And then in the end credits, they go over the storybook that they were telling in the beginning again, and then you're like, oh yeah, it was just all on the thing.
Hmm.
It's basically retelling the entire game. I'm gonna pull up the line because I was really bothered by the last because they told the ending to the story
Hmm.
in the ending of the game. They didn't really go over how the parents came to save the girl and all that in the beginning of the game. But then like the last line of the story is, to this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted by the nightmares of getting lost while picking berries. I get this, the relation between the fairy tale and the family, like Ethan's family and all that.
Hmm.
But then I don't get that line because it's implying that Rosemary did something wrong. Where it's just like she's a baby. She didn't go picking berries or anything like that.
I, I,
She just existed.
yeah. I mean, maybe they're referring to Eve. I don't know. I mean, I don't know actually. It's maybe that's just a folklore story that they just wanted to say. Maybe
I
it's
know, but then I'm
irrelevant.
just saying if Capcom is trying to draw parallels, you're not drawing parallels. You guys could have just like aged up the daughter and just be like 5 or 6 instead.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot more time would have to pass between like 7 and now. With the ending of the game, Rosemary's like a teenager now. It's like you're okay with a time skip. Granted, we don't know if it's a time skip. A lot of people are speculating that because she's half mold, she ages faster, which would be really dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a time skip. We know, which let's run it back a little bit. They show Rosemary on a bus, and you're like, oh shit, who's that? I don't know that face. It has to be Rosemary then, clearly,
Mhm.
because she's wearing Ethan's jacket.
Yeah.
That's fucking sleeve was sewn on so perfectly that it looks like it's a new jacket.
Mhm.
And she goes visit Ethan's grave and says all this and that, and then she gets called to action, and she's like, I have powers that even Chris doesn't even know about. Okay, if she comes back in the next Resident Evil game, sorry if I'm kind of like monotone-ish now. I'm getting a little tired. It's like 1 o'clock while we're
Yeah, that's true.
1 a.m. About exactly 24 hours since Mac beat the game, so,
Mhm. Mhm.
But if she comes to become, what are the words I'm saying? If she becomes the next playable character, which it seems like that's what they're implying,
Mhm.
that means the next Resident Evil game we're gonna have superpowers.
But yeah, I mean, she's technically Eve, or Eva,
Yeah,
and she has like we don't know her extent of her powers. But did you notice how that guy got really scared?
I
So
would too. Teenage girls are scary. That's why I was single for so long as a kid.
good point. I mean, that's probably the up factor. But like, from my understanding, her powers are pretty like. It sounds like it's Wesker level.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I'm pretty excited about. Oh, by the way, did that guy in the glasses sound like Virgil?
same voice actor. Yeah,
Oh my god, what the fuck? I was like, wait a minute.
yeah.
Why is you okay, I just wanted to say that. But yeah, I don't know. So far I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait till actually I can't wait the new perspective, to be honest. See what her powers are all about. I mean, they have done this before with Resident Evil Revelations or Resident Evil Revelations 2.
I haven't played either of those, so I actually have no idea.
You do play with like a little girl that have powers. Not like ones that kill things, but it's like it's part of the game mechanic. But I'm assuming that's what they're gonna probably do with the
Yeah.
next one. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole game, man.
So
And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think of the game, like so far? Like, I know we established that, but since we like hashed out everything, what do you think?
I think if I were to be rating this game out of 10, which I'm not really fond of rating a game out of 10, but then this is how I would rate it, I would probably give it that a solid 8.5 out of 10. Maybe no. You know what? Backtrack that. It's a 9 just because of mercenaries.
All right. Good point. Good point. I am actually going to give this game. I'm actually going to give this game a solid, like 10.
Yeah.
I actually really liked the game. It was pretty fun. I like the scares. It felt like a good balance of scares and action. It wasn't that of a scary game. Again, I'm a bit biased because Magaposi. I'm gonna give it like realistically, it's not that scary. But to me,
Mhm.
it was like a good balance of scares and a legit good action at the process. And I personally did like the story, even though there were a few missing parts.
Mm.
Maybe that's just me though. I never understood it, but I just finished the game, so I'm probably gonna look up a bunch of lore and theoreticals and hypotheses of this game or theories of my bad. I don't know why I said those college words. They're not even college words. I'm stupid. But though, yeah, theories of these game of this story. I might replay Resident Evil 7 though, because knowing what Ethan is now, I'm gonna tell Baker like, yo, do your worst. I'm mold. You can't do shit to me.
And then they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, so what? So are we."
Oh yeah, they are. Fuck. But yeah, it's a pretty solid game. I'm actually gonna give this a 10. Really like it.
Did you get a chance to play Mercenaries at all?
Yeah, I did. It's like any other mercenary games. It's survival essentially.
Sell everything in the beginning except your handgun ammo, and then buy the second handgun. Upgrade it all the way. It becomes a fucking machine gun.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Is this the Colt? Colt 1911?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
'Cause I didn't know that was like the meta, for lack of better words. But then after seeing other people play it, I was like, oh shit, I discovered that on my own. It's dope that other people are doing it.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, it's a good game.
So
man.
yeah,
Really good
that
game.
was Resident Evil 8 Village. Amazing time. Do not regret it. I'm so glad that this is the new bar for Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Like, to basically sum it up, it's got so much variety.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and that's it does all of each section so well, even though I don't care much about the fish people part. But it's just like it brings out the fear from many different people, I guess, because there are people like like you said, scared of insects, vampire horror. We got fucking psychological horror. We got dolls. We got fish monsters. We got Terminators. We got
Werewolves.
fetuses as well.
Yes.
There's so much variety in this game. I feel like we're at that stage, or it's like the best time to be a Resident Evil fan. We get new games, we get remakes of old games, and 7 and 8, it's just like a 1-2 punch of changing things for Resident Evil, and I really enjoy that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Anyways, it's getting late for us.
Yes, sir.
And we are damn near 2 hours on this
Holy
fucking podcast.
Oh my god.
So I think now that we finished talking about the story, we talked about gameplay, we didn't talk about a few things here and there, like whatever the fuck. That's not the point. We're here to talk about the things that we want to talk about.
Whatever the fuck
and
we
did.
want, man.
So
Whatever the fuck.
yeah,
we
this
want.
is our fucking podcast.
Yeah, you can't
Go
do
make
shit.
your own if you don't like it,
Exactly. Fight us.
Um, but thank you for listening to us. If you listened all the way, even though I just called you a motherfucker.
He said that I didn't.
He thought it. Um, yeah, and hopefully join us for our next podcast if we make one in another 2 months or shorter, hopefully.
I get it. It's life. Well, I mean, we do want to do more of these, but it's one of those things where shit happens.
Bye.
Bye.